This is News 8 Now, this morning.
SOS is a military tradition which most people experience in boot camp and beyond, which is a good, healthy, filling meal for a soldier or sailor or airman or Marine.
I kind of consider this bookstore kind of a microcosm of Viroqua itself as a larger whole.
My favorite part is the music because it's just really like a fun melody to play, and a workout because you then get that workout in the swings.
Well, the students and the athletes and the families don't have to pay for anything. We are able to provide the educational tools, the opportunities, the experiences, equipment, school supplies for them, so the burden's not on them. So we just find a fun way to make money so everybody wins in the end.
Good morning, everyone. That was your morning eye-opener. I'm Sophia Pullman.
And I'm meteorologist Eric Dean.
It is already April 3rd. March flew by so fast.
Yes,
I feel like April's going to do the same thing. Hopefully we can get rid of some of the snow. Hopefully it never comes back.
April's one of those wild card months here in the Coulee region, if you will. So we can see snow, we can see rain, we can see tornadoes.
Yeah.
We can see baseball-sized hail, all the above. All the above, my friend. Yesterday, though, was just downright gorgeous.
I know, it was nice. It was a little windy.
A little, but at least there wasn't snow.
Right. The sun was out, so I can't complain.
The sun was out. I drove the wife's Bug yesterday. Had the sunroof open. It was just downright gorgeous. Take a look at the highs from yesterday. We were in the 60s. 65 was the high in La Crosse, 63 Winona, 57 Eau Claire, 51 in Marshfield, mid-60s from Decorah to Prairie du Chien, over towards Boscobel. Madison hit the double nickels, 55 degrees, and right now we're seeing temperatures in the 30s and 40s across the area. Eau Claire, you were in the upper 20s at the last hour. You're sitting at 32, 36 Winona, 41 in La Crosse, as well as Decorah, 42 in Boscobel, 39 in Prairie du Chien. But you factor in that feels like temperature. Feels like upper 20s from Eau Claire to Ladysmith. La Crosse is 38, 39 in Prairie du Chien. So the radar scan right now, it looks like we're seeing a little bit of precipitation, but some of this is not hitting the ground. It is being picked up in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So if you have any plans the next several hours, we'll see temperatures going into the mid-50s. Now, we do have thunderstorm chances in the forecast again, and we'll talk about that coming up in the First Warn forecast in just a few minutes. Sophia, over to you.
Thanks, Eric. Let's get to some news this morning. The Winona Police Department is asking for the public's help to find a missing woman. Winona Police said that Madeline Jane Kinsbury has not been seen since March 31st. She is pictured here with curly, shoulder-length brown hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information should contact Winona Police at 507-457-6492. If you would like to stay anonymous, you can also contact Winona Area Crime Stoppers at 507-457-6530. A breakfast for a patriotic cause. The American Legion Honor Squads hosted its monthly all-you-can-eat SOS breakfast at the Post on Sunday morning. Attendees enjoyed breakfast that you would typically see at boot camp. Organizers say the breakfast honors a long-standing tradition.
SOS is a military tradition which most people experience in boot camp and beyond, which is a good, healthy, filling meal for a soldier or sailor or airman or Marine.
The money raised helps the Legion Honor Squad fund military funeral ceremonies for U.S. veterans. The squad also supports community events with its color guard. A hidden gem in Viroqua opened for the season this weekend. News 8 Now's Anna Fisher stopped in to show us around.
An unheated building that used to sell tobacco.
As you can see, I'm dressed very warmly.
Now filled from floor to ceiling with books, music, and art.
It's mostly the owner's collection over the last few decades.
Driftless Books and Music gives visitors a unique and creative experience.
The people who come here who've never been here before are amazed.
Erica Howe has worked at Driftless for almost 8 years.
It's also interesting too, like the weirdest books, because we sell online. I'm one of the people who catalogs them, and it's weird to see the books that are worth a lot of money versus the ones that aren't necessarily.
According to Howe, the bookstore represents the diversity and peacefulness of Viroqua and the community.
last year there was a book about how to like create a militia and go and guard the Mexican border from migrants, but then also we've got an LGBTQ+ section.
A variety of stories that open more doors.
We don't censor the books we have. You know, if you don't learn about something, you can't decide whether or not to believe it or not. So it's important that all this information that's in here is available for anyone to come and look at.
Howe says when it comes to books, choices matter.
To ban any book is scary because even like the most politically biased books have a story to tell that someone wants to read and someone wants to listen to.
The Viroqua store sells all kinds of books at a fraction of the cost.
Unless they're, you know, selling online or a specific like first edition copy of something, you're not gonna totally break the bank unless you buy 50 books.
Reporting in Viroqua, I'm Anna Fisher, News 8 Now.
Driftless Books and Music is open from now until the end of October. Community members got together for a day of fun in West Salem, all for students and athletes with differing abilities. On Saturday, families took part in bowling, bingo, raffles, and a silent auction. The money raised helps the project live in adapted sports league programs in Holman schools. Coach and teacher Nicholas Slusser says the Adapted Sports League has been crowd-funded from the start and wouldn't be possible without community support.
Well, the students and athletes and the families don't have to pay for anything. We are able to provide the educational tools, the opportunities, the experiences, equipment, school supplies for them, so the burden's not on them. So we just find a fun way to make money so everybody wins in the end.
Slusser also says a rewarding part of the project is when his Project Live students goes back to the business that made it possible. In exciting spring news, the All Abilities Train Park is now open for the season. The All Abilities Train Park is La Crosse's only seasonal park, but what makes this park special? It can be used by anyone.
My favorite part is the music because it's just really like a fun melody to play and a workout because you gotta get that workout in the swings.
After a long winter, the park is now open every day at 7 in the morning and closes at sunset. Starting today, parking downtown in the city of La Crosse could cost you. Weekday parking on Pine Street, Main Street, La Crosse Center, and Market Square ramps will cost $1 an hour from 6 in the morning until 6 in the evening. That cost is capped at $8 a day. Parking in the ramps will still be free overnight and on weekends. Also today, La Crosse area kids can get the chance to learn how to fly. The La Crosse Composite Squadron will hold 2 informational nights for kids and their parents who would like to learn about the Civil Air Patrol program. The first meeting will run tonight from 7:30 until 8:30 in the evening at the CAP building on Fanta Reed Road. Another event will be held on April 10th. We posted information on our website. Beginning tomorrow, MTU bus stops from East Ave and La Crosse Street to Pine Street and Campbell Road will be closed. Both Route 4 buses will use La Crosse Street to 22nd Street and 22nd Street to Campbell Road. Temporary bus stops will be set up at the corners of East Ave and La Crosse Street and Hillview Ave. MTU will also be offering free rides on Election Day. This morning, we announced the winners to the Best of La Crosse, an annual event where the people of the community vote their favorite spots in certain categories. There's some established names and some hidden gems. Let's take a look. The best overall bar as voted by you is Red Pines Bar and Grill. Coming in second is Bodega Brew Pub and Corporation. And coming in third is the Driftless Axe and Arcade. If you're looking to unwind on a Friday with an old-fashioned, Digger's Sting restaurant won this year's top honor, followed by the Freight House restaurant, who came in second, and Red Pines Bar and Grill placed third. Here's the results for the best college in La Crosse. In first place, it's the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. In second, we have Western Technical College, and then we have Turbo University coming in third. Now for who is the top dentistry for your kids in the area. Coming in first, we have Pediatric Dentistry of Onalaska. In second, we have Gunderson Lutheran Pediatrics La Crosse. And in third, we have La Crosse Pediatric Dentistry. And lastly, we have the winners for the best charity event or fundraiser. In first place, we have the Rotary Lights, followed by Beer by Bike Brigade in second place, and the 9th annual Paws at the Pub New Leash on Life Dog Rescue taking home third place. There's more categories for the best of La Crosse, and here at News 8 Now, we will share more throughout the week. Still ahead on your morning news, the problems Social Security and Medicaid are facing and how it can affect you. We'll explain. And how egg prices are changing Easter celebrations. That and more coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. A resident at a senior home in Ohio proves it is never too late to follow your dreams. 102-year-old Nancy Hadass had her lifelong dream of receiving a college degree come true. She was thrilled to be given an honorary Associate of Public Service degree from Zane College. The honor comes just ahead of her 103rd birthday in April. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning after the break.
All right, take a look at the scene on I-94 at Industrial Avenue near the Toma area. You can see traffic is moving very smooth at this hour. At County O in the Millston area, good morning to you guys there. Traffic is moving very smooth. You're at 36 degrees. It feels like 34 degrees out there. At Wisconsin 29 in Dunn County, this is I-94 again. Traffic is moving very smooth across the area. That's going to be the general consensus across the Cooley region at this hour. We do have abundant sunshine. Make sure you take those shades with you as you head to your morning destination. You can see again, just gorgeous out there nonetheless. Now, in terms of yesterday, hey, talk about gorgeous, my friends. We were in the mid 60s, 65 degrees was our high. After a morning start of 27, 54, 33 is where we should be for this time of year. We are seeing a substantial amount of rain in terms of above normal on both the rain and the snow wind. We do have rain chances in the forecast, and we will talk about that coming up in the first warn forecast in just a few minutes. Sophia, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Today we have Chris Wendt here with U.S. Cellular, and we are celebrating the 50th year of the first phone call, is it?
Yeah, it's the 50th anniversary of the first mobile telephone call down in Midtown Manhattan. Some guy picked up a phone and placed a call. So we're celebrating that today.
What was the first cell phone called?
I'm not actually sure what the first phone was called, but I can tell you that they have changed significantly
I know.
since back in the day.
You can see that on our desk. The first one's massive.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. This is got a Butte here. It's an old car phone. No text messaging capability. So just just wonderful phone call ability. Then they kind of got a little bit smaller, moved in. Some of you guys may recognize the old Nokia.
That was my first phone.
That's right.
there.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
And we moved into these wonderful flip phones. People might recognize the Motorola Razr. It was a very popular phone in its day. And then around 2007, we hit the iPhone. And so this is where today's phones really kind of started to take shape. People, primarily with these first few phones, use them for phone calls. Not a lot of, even maybe just a little bit of messaging, but mostly for phone calls. Messaging, data, streaming, all of those things are really kind of mainstream. And now here's my phone, which is a iPhone 14 Pro. And so getting into streaming and messaging and things like that, and just creating ways to help people be connected with other people. And so the way that we communicate with people has evolved in the last 50 years. And U.S. Cellular is celebrating our 40th year this year. And so we've been a big part of that evolution of wireless.
Do you think phones will continue to change, or do you think we're going to have the iPhone for?
I think the next kind of natural progression for phones is going to be augmented reality. So cameras and things like that are going to start to play into it a little bit more heavily. I'm sure that you'll start to see some of that technology pop out in the next few years. You know, there's already some, you know, those virtual reality type headsets. I don't know that we'll necessarily see people walking around with those things on, but that's kind of the next natural progression.
Do you see that a lot of people got rid of their landlines and transitioned just to having one of those?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, landline still has its place in this world, obviously, but you know,
select few.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah. So, but a lot of people have gone, you know, pretty much completely wireless. 82% of Americans carry a smartphone now versus even a flip phone. So, you know, that tells us that people are using a lot more data and really care more about the texting and data side of things.
I gotta say, that Razr right there, I had one of those in high school. That kind of dates me several years ago. And that thing was just the coolest thing ever when that came out.
Yeah.
And then they had the Crazr. So I went back, I got a little nostalgic. My smartphone is now the Flip. And so talk about throwback there. So
I was 13 when I got my first phone, and I thought it was
the coolest thing
biggest
ever.
thing.
What was your first phone?
It was a Flip, but it was a side one.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it was just like a side.
You could type on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was pink.
So
And
the thing about those blue Nokia phones, did you have one of those as well?
Oh, absolutely.
So it only had one game, and it was like that little brick attack.
Yeah.
Thing
Oh,
on
there was a game on
Yes, there was
that?
one
Yep.
game on there.
Snake.
It was Snake.
Yep.
You had to go there. You had to get the little ball, and the more you ate, the bigger the snake got, and then it just covered the entire screen.
Yep.
And then you had the nice 8-bit polyphonic ringtones.
would you say most Americans use the iPhone?
I think the iPhone is, you know, by far the most popular smartphone
Right.
in terms of like branding, and that's only because Android is a lot more open, and so there's a lot more manufacturers that utilize that operating system. You know, iPhone is a very, very common device, and it's very easy for people to help other people with. So, you know, like older folks tend to use them because their kids can help them navigate them because they have an iPhone. So, but I don't necessarily know it's the most popular, but it's certainly up there in terms of like market penetration. It's pretty high up there, yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Chris, and thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
And stop at
Thank you for
US
having me
Cellular
here.
if you're looking to get a new iPhone.
Right.
Yeah.
But thank you,
Or
Chris.
Android.
Or an Android. Yes, I'm an
See,
iPhone
that can
user.
start a fight on
Yes.
social media. Team iPhone or Team Android.
Yeah, I always like those blue text messages instead of sending the green ones out.
Yep.
Yeah,
And that's
you
why I
know
don't
it.
receive texts from them.
Thank you again, Chris.
Thank you for having me.
That is it for our interview. We will have Eric take over with today's forecast.
Oh, I tell you what, no matter what device you have, whether it's an iPhone or an Android, one thing that you can get is that free News 8000 First Warn weather app. That is a free app on the App and Play Store. Outside right now, hey, we have clear skies out there. 41 degrees is the current temperature. Feels like 38 out there. Winds are out of the south at 5 miles per hour. At the TV station, 1 degree warmer. We're at 42 degrees. We have clear skies in Eau Claire. Good morning to you guys. You're sitting at the freezing mark. It feels like 27 with winds out of the south-southwest at 5 miles per hour. So here's the Dean's List for today. A near normal Monday. We'll see temperatures hovering right around normal. Our average high is 54 degrees. We're going to hover right there. Thunderstorm chances, they're going to return in the forecast again for tomorrow, and then the 60s will make a comeback as we go into the weekend. And wow, talk about a roller coaster. The past several days, Saturday, April Fool's Day, Mother Nature brought the party to my wedding, if you will. 45 degrees was the high, 20 degrees warmer was the high on Sunday. We hit 65, and then today, like I said, we're going to have right around 54, 55 degrees. As we take a look at your forecast for today, we'll start the day off with mostly cloudy skies. The clouds will dissipate throughout the afternoon and evening hours, only to fire back up again throughout your evening and overnight hours. I want to draw your attention to the radar scan right now because this guy right here, it looks like we're seeing a little bit of precipitation across portions of the Coulee region. Not the case across the majority of the area. A lot of this is being picked up in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So here's the setup right now as we go into the next several hours. First of all, we have a low pressure system across portions of Nevada and California. This is our next system as we go into Tuesday evening, going into Wednesday. And as a matter of fact, before it gets here, it's going to cause a lot of chaos across the Intermountain West over towards Utah, portions of Colorado, across the snowy Sierra Madre Range, the Bighorn Mountain Range, the Wind River Mountain Range, even portions of the Black Hills. And here's what's going to happen. You see a lot of that snow that's going to push its way across the Intermountain West, and then as that low pressure system pushes its way through, you can see that transition over to rain, even some thunderstorm activity in the evening and overnight hours. So let's time everything out using Sky Tracker. First of all, you can see temperatures will be in the 50s for today. The clouds will start to pick up as we go into your Tuesday. Then the precip chances start to pick up by the afternoon and evening hours from Ladysmith to Eau Claire, not ruling out a wintry mix. As we go into your evening and overnight hours, there you go. Thunderstorm chances start to pick up. Those will dwindle down as we go into your overnight hours. Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow already has a level 1 out of 5 for our southern zones, with the exception of extreme southern Winneshiek, Allamakee, Crawford, and Richland County. You're under a level 2 with heavy wind, hail, vivid lightning being the main threat, and I cannot and I will not rule out maybe a spin up or two across our extreme southern zones. Now, the National Weather Service, you're sitting there looking at 2%, whatever. National Weather Service does not issue big numbers, so because it's on the map and the Storm Prediction Center did throw this out, it is important for me to tell you that there is that chance. So one thing to note, make sure you have that free News 8000 First Warn weather app on your mobile device to receive the latest information, especially if you're in these southern zones. So for the next 8 days, we'll see temperatures going into the 50s for today. That trend will continue as we go into your Tuesday, mid-50s for Wednesday, upper 30s, low 40s for Thursday. Then Easter weekend, we're talking temperatures in the 50s and 60s with rain chances. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. But first, here's a look at this day in history.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. Sunday afternoon baseball is back, and yesterday we had the Brewers going for their second straight win down in Chicago. The offense has still been a little lackluster in games 1 and 2. They look to turn things around yesterday. Let's jump to the second inning. Brewers already down 1, but the rookie Bryce Turang is going to turn things around. The single into right scores Rowdy Tellez, and just like that, we're tied at 1. Now tied at 2, and Garrett Mitchell is going to triple down the right field line. Brian Anderson scores. Brewers lead 3-2. Sixth inning now, bases loaded for Jesse Winker, and he comes through with the single into center that scores 2 runs, and that blows this game wide open. Brewers hold on to win 9-5. They had 13 hits on the day with the rookie Bryce Turang going 2 for 3, and Jesse Winker came through with 3 RBIs. The Brewers improved to 2-1 on the year. Next for Milwaukee, 3 games at home against the New York Mets starting tonight. All right, Twins trying to start the year with the series sweep down in Kansas City. 4th inning tied at 1, but Ryan Jeffers is going to change that. Single into center field. Joey Gallo, he's going to come in to score from second. The Twins take a 2-1 lead. 6th inning now, nobody on. No out for Joey Gallo, and just look at that swing. Unloads on this ball, crushes it to deep right field. The solo blast gives the Twins a 2-run lead. Next inning, runners at the corners, and Gallo sends this one to deep right, and this is not even close. His second home run of the day. Minnesota now with a 5-run lead. Bottom of the 9th, Emilio Pagan in for the save, and he gets Matt Duffy to ground out to third. The throw to first in time, and the Twins get the sweep. 7-4 the final. It was Gallo with a big day at the plate, 3 for 4, 4 RBIs, and led the way for the offense. Next up for Minnesota, still on the road. They'll be down in Miami for a 3-game series starting later tonight. And yesterday, the LSU Tigers defeated the Iowa Hawkeyes in the women's national title game down in Dallas. It was action-packed and everything you could have asked for in a national title game. The stars were performing, the shot making was at a very high level. Maybe the only thing that could have been a little different was the amount of foul calls in the game. Instantly, fans took to social media, and instead of talking about how awesome the game was, it was highlights with how big of a ref show it was. But outside of that, LSU was making everything, shot after shot. Caitlin Clark tried her best to keep the Hawkeyes in it, but it was just LSU's day. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Breaking overnight, Russia's presidency of the UN Security Council, got off to a rough start as Ukraine complained right away. Moscow took over the month-long rotating leadership of the council over the weekend, meaning the country that invaded its neighbor and whose president is suspected of war crimes now leads a body that deals with global peace and security. Ukrainian President Zelensky spoke on the matter and said it's time for the council to change. Huge crowds gathered at the Vatican on Sunday as Pope Francis presided over Palm Sunday services. This comes just a day after Francis was released from the hospital where he was treated with bronchitis. The Holy Day recalls Jesus' entry into Jerusalem, and it marks the start of Holy Week celebrations in the Christian calendar, leading up to Easter next week. In your medical news this morning, the Centers for Disease Control issued a salmonella outbreak warning linked to flour. Investigators are working to identify which brands are included. So far, a dozen people have become sick across 11 states, 3 of them hospitalized. The CDC warns that any unbaked flour can have germs in it like salmonella. The CDC suggests people to not eat raw dough or batter, and that even a small amount can make you sick. Many Iowa Wesleyan students woke up to an email saying classes were canceled for the day, followed by another asking them to meet at the campus chapel where they learned about the university's closure. While the announcement wasn't a total surprise to some, others say their futures are now up in the air.
I feel like if this is a dream.
Iowa Wesleyan sophomore Elena Kadaka is more than 7,500 miles away from her home country of Nepal. She says the potential of leaving Iowa will be like leaving her second home.
Flew to prove those naysayers wrong back in your country, like to do something in your own, and now you feel like you are lost and you cannot do anything.
With the school's closure, many freshmen like Mariana Fredericks are left to start the college search all over again.
It's really crazy because, well, just a few years ago was COVID, and so this feels like deja vu, like all over again in a way. I don't know where I'm going to go after this.
Sophomore Elena Gonzalez says she wasn't surprised by the announcement, but that doesn't mean it's not hard to process.
We're not going to be able to see each other anymore, and I built so many relationships here, and I'm in a lot of clubs here on the campus, so I just feel really sad.
Meanwhile, on top of their academics, student athletes will have to consider their athletic futures. Tigers wrestler Ty Broussard says he's made the best out of his time at the university.
I don't regret anything. I made a lot of friends. I made a lot of memories. That's all I can bank on. I learned what I could in my classes, but it just sucks.
In the coming weeks, the school will host a transfer fair for students. They have also already announced a partnership with 4 other universities, allowing most students to complete their degrees seamlessly. After a blizzard hit Minnesota over the weekend, it may take a little more time than expected for the snow to melt as the state moved up in the record books on Sunday. Joseph Dame shows us how this storm stacks up against others in the past.
Well, we're starting off the month of April with a new fresh coating of snowfall that has now put us in the top 3 for the snowiest winters. So we had to go ask, how are people feeling about it?
You know, I'm actually pretty done with it.
I would prefer this to stop at this point.
Hopefully this snow, this is the last time we have to look at it.
We'll call it a 3-way tie coming from Megan, Eddie, and Jerry, as the sentiment about our newest snow seems to be about the same. It's time to throw in the towel. Makes sense, right? We are now at 89.7 inches of snowfall this season, surpassing the snowy season of 1950-51. And some of you may remember that one. But there are 2 more above us now, both over 95 inches. So maybe number 3 is fine. Megan thinks so.
I feel number 3. I think number 3 is good, you know, top 3. First, maybe not this year, maybe in the future, but I think 3 is good for us.
And over in Loring Park, Eddie agrees. He told us this is his first winter here, and he had a feeling it was going to be like this.
My biggest concern was that this is probably going to prolong and we're going to get more snow than normal, and so that's being true at this point.
So what's next? Jerry, he has a good idea.
Hopefully the extended winter means there's going to be an extended summer.
Joseph says the 30-year average snowfall for the month of April is 3.5 inches. Minnesota nearly reached that on the first day of the month.
Sophia, I have to ask, are you just sick and tired of the snow? Or...
I've been sick of it since January.
Jeez. I need at least one more good snowfall.
Well, like a foot, are you talking, or like 3 inches?
Something. I just need a good snowball fight with Sibley.
No.
I'm just saying. Good morning, everybody. Yesterday, it definitely was not snowball weather. 65 was the high after a morning start of 27. 54 and 33 is where we should be for this time of year. We're actually sitting, look at this number right here, 10.4 inches above normal in terms of snowfall in La Crosse. We're sitting at 54.1 inches. Outside right now, we do have a flood advisory. This is a flood advisory in effect. You can see for the area shaded in green, this does go until Sunday morning as we have rain chances in the forecast. So light to moderate flooding is not out of the question. We'll talk more about that coming up in the next check weather. But coming up in the Buzz Report, not a snowball fight between me and Sibley or me and Sophia, but the latest Vogue cover model. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, as we get you out the door on this Tuesday, no, it's not Tuesday, it's Monday morning. You know, I've been off for so long between knee surgery and everything and wedding plan. I don't even know what day it is anymore. Monday morning. Good morning, everybody. 41 degrees is the current temperature with clear skies. It feels like 38 out there. Winds are out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Look at that temperature here at the TV station, 41 degrees. In Eau Claire, you're at the freezing mark, so substantially cooler. It feels like 27 out there with winds out of the south-southwest at 5 miles per hour. So the Dean's List for today, we're going to see a near normal Monday. Our average high is 54 degrees. That's where we're going to be at. Thunderstorm chances will pick up as we go into your Tuesday, and then the 60s will make a comeback. As a matter of fact, look at the roller coaster ride we've been on over the past couple of days. Saturday, we only made it to 45. Then we bumped the temperature up 20 degrees to 65 on Sunday. And then we're going to have a right around that 54, 55 degree mark for today. Now, we will see the clouds start to pick up a little bit as we go into the late morning, early afternoon hours. The temperatures will stay in the 50s. We'll see a break in the clouds, and then we stay mostly cloudy as we go into your evening and overnight hours. Radar scan right now. I want to draw your attention on a couple things here because it looks like across our southern zones we're seeing some rain. Simply not the case across portions of the area. Some places are, but a lot of this is just being picked up in the upper levels of the atmosphere. We are seeing mostly cloudy skies at this hour. So here's a look at the satellite radar. You can see the cloud deck just really starting to ramp up across the Coulee region. This is our next weather maker as we go into your Tuesday, going into Wednesday. So pay close attention to this. It's going to do one more thing before it pushes this way into the Coulee region. It's going to dominate the majority of the Intermountain West. As a matter of fact, the Wind River Mountain Range, the Snowy Sierra Madre Range, the Black Hills, under a winter storm warning, even a blizzard warning. So it'll push through that area first before it pushes its way into the Coulee region, and it'll push its way through in the afternoon, evening, and even into the overnight hours. You can see the storm track right here with Sky Tracker. We'll go ahead and zoom in, and we'll time everything out hour by hour. First of all, by today, we'll see temperatures, like I said, upper 40s, low 50s. We'll see the clouds pick up overnight. By Tuesday morning, we'll see temperatures in the 30s and 40s. By the noon hour, the rain chances start to pick up across portions of Winneshiek and Allamakee County. As we go into the afternoon hours, over towards Eau Claire County and north of Eau Claire County, seeing a chance of a wintry mix. That will continue by the 6 o'clock hour, and then the thunderstorm chances by the evening and overnight hours will start to train through the Coulee region. Some places won't see thunderstorms, but if you do see one, it will be a fast-moving system. Now, the Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow has the southern zones under a slight risk or a level 2 of severe weather, with heavy wind, hail, vivid lightning being the main threat. The area shaded in green, that is a marginal risk or a 1 out of 5. Now, heavy wind, hail, vivid lightning, like I said, are the main threats, and I cannot rule out maybe, especially in our southern zones, a spin up or two. Now, you're looking at the map here and thinking 2%, 5%, not much to worry about. Wrong. Storm Prediction Center does not issue high numbers. So if there's a color on this map That's concerning to me, and it should be concerning to you as well. So for today, we're going to go to 54 degrees with partly cloudy skies. The next 8 days will stay into the 50s. For your Tuesday, again, keeping that thunderstorm chance in the forecast, mid-50s for Wednesday, upper 30s, low 40s for Thursday. Then as we go into the Easter weekend, we'll see 60s with rain chances for Saturday and Sunday. Sophia, take it away.
In our morning buzz report, Vogue Philippines, has unveiled its latest cover star. And incredibly, she's 106 years old. Apo Wanhod is a tattoo artist in a mountain village in the Philippines. She's been perfecting the art of hand-dipping tattoos since she was a teenager. She is the oldest person ever to appear on a Vogue cover. Vogue Philippines says she represents what is beautiful about the Filipino culture.
Today we have a story that's going to change the world.
This is in Nigeria, electricity coming out of their hands. All teenage girls.
Teenage girls evolve an ability to wield electricity in The Power, based on the New York Times best-selling novel. Actress Toni Collette says the story is about inclusivity and what really could happen if we lived in a balanced and equality future. The first 3 episodes of The Power are now streaming on Prime Video, with new episodes premiering weekly. So you didn't have April 1st plans, but you got married.
I did.
And what, I don't want to say a joke, but like.
No. My wife Taylor, we got married on April 1st, and it's our relationship.
It worked perfectly.
It worked perfectly. Everything was just perfect, and it just so happened to be April 1st. It's just the story of our lives, if you will, just very unexpected and random. Yes. So.
Before we had to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, happy 8th birthday to Arian. Arian is a huge Pokemon fan and also loves the outdoors.
Happy 8th birthday to Lennox. She loves to play with her sisters and enjoys sports.
Happy 8th birthday to Weston. Weston enjoys cabin trips and, ooh, yeah, chocolate ice cream. Happy birthday, Weston.
Happy 18th birthday to Colin and 88th birthday to Pat. Both Colin and his grandma were born, grandma or grandpa? Nope, grandma. Were both born on the same day, and they enjoy spending time with their family.
Happy 88th birthday to Dawn. Dawn has been driving the school buses since 1959 and still enjoys it to this day.
If you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Hey, do us a favor. Upload their photos to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button on the home tab of our website.
Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next. Time for your Morning News Now. A hidden gem in Viroqua is now open for the season. Driftless Books and Music of Viroqua looks quaint from the outside, but the store is a lot more than what meets the eye. Filled from floor to ceiling with books, magazines, art, and music. It's served the Viroqua community for over 15 years. Longtime employee Erica Howe says the bookstore represents the people of Viroqua and brings a feeling of community.
I kind of consider this bookstore kind of a microcosm of Viroqua itself as a larger whole. And Viroqua is like a weird place where super conservative and super liberal people get along. And you'll actually see that if you look at our shelves.
The bookstore sells new, recycled, and rare books for much lower prices than chain shops. It's open from April until the end of October, and you can find it in the Forgotten Works warehouse in Viroqua. A breakfast for a patriotic cause. The American Legion Honor Squads hosted its monthly all-you-can-eat SOS breakfast at the Post on Sunday morning. Attendees enjoyed breakfast that you would typically see at boot camp. The money raised helps the Legion Honor Squad fund military funeral ceremonies for U.S. veterans. The squad also supports community events with its color guard. Community members got together for a day of fun in West Salem, all for students and athletes with differing abilities. On Saturday, families took part in bowling, bingo, raffles, and a silent auction. The money raised helps the Project Live and Adapted Sports League programs in Holman schools. Coach and teacher Nicholas Slusser says the Adapted Sports League has been crowdfunded from the start and wouldn't be possible without community support.
Well, the students and athletes and the families don't have to pay for anything. We are able to provide the educational tools, the opportunities, the experiences, equipment, school supplies for them, so the burden's not on them. So we just find a fun way to make money so everybody wins in the end.
Slusser also says a rewarding part of the project is when his Project Live students go back to the businesses who made the day possible. In exciting spring news, the All Abilities Train Park is now open for the season. The All Abilities Train Park is La Crosse's only seasonal park, but what makes this park special? It's that everybody can use it.
My favorite part is the music because it's just really like a fun melody to play, and a workout because you then get the workout in the swings.
After a long winter, the park is now open every day at 7 in the morning and closes at sunset. Starting today, parking downtown in the city of La Crosse could cost you. Weekday parking on Pine Street, Main Street, La Crosse Center, and Market Square ramps will cost $1 an hour from 6 in the morning until 6 in the evening. The cost is capped at $8 a day. Parking in the ramps will still be free overnight and on weekends. Happening today, La Crosse area kids can get the chance to learn how to fly. The La Crosse Composite Squadron will hold 2 informational nights for kids and their parents who would like to learn about the Civil Air Patrol program. The first meeting will run tonight from 7:30 until 8:30 in the evening at the CAP building on Fanta Reed Road. Another event will be held on April 10th. We posted more information on news8000.com. Beginning tomorrow, MTU bus stops from East Ave and La Crosse Street to Pine Street and Campbell Road will be closed. Both Route 4 buses will use La Crosse Street to 22nd Street and 22nd Street to Campbell Road. Temporary bus stops will be set up at the corners of East Ave and La Crosse Street and Hillview Ave. MTU will also be offering free rides on Election Day.
All right, here's a look at your forecast for today. We'll see temperatures right around normal. Our average high for this time of year is 54 degrees. We'll see partly cloudy skies, winds out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. That wind will shift out of the north as we go into the evening hours. You will see the clouds increase as well. As we go into your Tuesday, rain chances will start to pick up. We'll see temperatures in the upper 40s, low 50s, mid 50s for Wednesday, and then 60s with rain chances as we go into the Easter weekend.
Wow, 60 this weekend?
60s.
That's the first time I've seen that this year.
Yeah, well, we were at 65 yesterday, too. So.
Oh, yeah, you did say that. It's Monday.
It is Monday. And I've got a case of the Mondays.
Give me some slack.
I got a case of the Mondays, too, my friend.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to keep up with the news of the day on news8000.com. We will have the latest updates to today's top stories on News 8 at noon. Have a great day, everyone, and thank you for watching News 8.